The most unbelievable hour of television begins right now on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Would you believe? Tonight, a Ripley's world exclusive. Dave Barlia will attempt the highest bungee jump ever.
This stunt is incredibly dangerous. It's never been attempted before.
A staggering 1 mile drop that could launch him into history or plunge him into disaster. A heartbreaking deformity at birth forced Roberto Ramirez to walk like an animal. Tonight, you'll find out if an experimental operation can give him a second chance at a normal life. This father of 3 came to Ripley's with a painfully unbelievable act. In minutes, you'll witness him cover his entire face with a record number of flesh-pinching clothespins. Plus, Shadow the Wonder Dog gets ready to try scuba diving and the shocking newscast that requires its reporters to disrobe.
Welcome back, sports fans.
Unbelievable? Believe it on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Hello and welcome to Ripley's. No time to waste tonight, so let's just get right into our first story. It takes place out in the middle of the Arizona desert. Every day, a husband and wife would go into their garage, then would come the sounds of drilling, sawing, and hammering well into the night. They were attempting to build a one-of-a-kind vehicle. Faster than a train, smaller than a car, yet with the potential to take them around the world. After nearly 6 months and countless hours, the couple lifted the garage door and took off down the street in this. When Bob Bishop commutes to work, he never worries about rush hour traffic. That's because parked in his garage is the smallest jet in the world. And he built it with his own 2 hands.
It's not unusual here to see me driving down the street.
Bob's obsession with airplanes and aviation started when he was just a boy.
My dad was a duster pilot, and I used to hang around the airport and wash and wax airplanes and beg rides.
And while Bob earned his wings flying all kinds of planes, his dream was always to possess his very own jet. After 3,000 hours of intensive labor and a cost of almost $200,000, Bob finished building the world's first homemade jet. At 432 pounds and 12 feet long, Bob's aircraft, now known as the Freedom Jet, was officially the world's smallest. But would it fly? Or would the tiny plane come crashing to the ground? It was time to put the Freedom Jet to the test. Nearing 100 miles per hour, the wheels lift off the ground. Unbelievably, not only is the takeoff flawless, on its very first test run, the Freedom Jet hits an amazing 300 miles an hour.
It is just a rush. And to pull back on the stick and just, the earth just leaves you. It's like being launched, I guess, in the space shuttle or something.
Soon, Bob was making a living flying his high-tech toy at air shows all over the world. But when he's not streaking through the sky, Bob actually keeps his homemade high flyer in his garage. His neighbors don't mind. Planes are allowed in this privately zoned residential area.
Most people pull their cars in the garage, and I pull my airplane in. And the only reason I do this is because I've got an airport where I can land, taxi right down the taxiways, and right into my house.
And now the Freedom Jet is even being used as a very cost-effective training tool for Uncle Sam.
Right now, the big push is military. We are now a cruise missile surrogate in war games exercises, in radar testing and anti-terrorist sort of things. We look like a low-tech cruise missile on radar, and we save the government lots of money every time we fly over using some other type of target vehicles.
And unbelievably, Bob's jet is so small, when he and Mary Ellen travel together, they simply take it apart and load it into a trailer. Sometimes they even ship it.
A couple of years ago, we FedExed it overnight to Hawaii. Fits on one 747 pallet really nicely.
If you think having your own private jet is cool, take a look at this. This is a Moeller Sky Car. Though the prototype is still in the testing phase, they believe these personal aircraft could be in showrooms by the end of the decade. Now, when Roberto Ramirez was just a baby, he contracted what doctors believed was the flu. The origins were unknown, but the effects were catastrophic. Like a lot of 21-year-olds, Roberto Ramirez is always on the move. But when this courageous young man from the Dominican Republic gets around, he has to do it like this. Because Roberto is the world's only known victim of a shocking medical condition so rare, it doesn't even have a name. When Roberto was just a baby, his thigh bones stopped growing. And as he got older, his lower legs twisted into 90-degree angles, tragically forcing Roberto to walk on all fours. Roberto has sought help in the area's hospitals and clinics, but local doctors are always left with more questions than answers.
Yo siempre vivo con la esperanza de que pueda aparecer.
What Roberto doesn't know is that one of his local doctors has forwarded his case to a noted bone specialist in Miami, Florida. Frankly, he is shocked by the x-rays.
I've never seen anything like this at all before. He has a fairly normal shin bone here, but instead of coming down straight like it's supposed to here, his bone comes down in angles about 90 degrees, the opposite direction of the way the knee normally bends.
Remarkably, Dr. John Chase feels that he can help where so many others have given up. The good doctor is convinced that amputation, combined with custom-made prosthetic legs, might possibly give Roberto the ability to walk upright.
You can certainly make his appearance look better, but whether that would help his function is a whole nother story.
Roberto is soon on his way to the Jewett Orthopedic Clinic in Miami, Florida. Once a series of tests are completed, he's taken into surgery. But it will be dangerous. Surgeons must literally take Roberto apart. The risk of Roberto bleeding to death is very real. It's a grueling 11-hour operation. Doctors do everything they can for Roberto. Once the procedure is completed, the only thing Roberto can do is wait, heal, and hope for the best.
In minutes, find out if Roberto Ramirez will walk upright or if his surgery will result in a crushing disappointment. After years of living like this, be there to witness the moment he's dreamed of his entire life. Plus, she had beauty queen looks until a mysterious illness transformed her body. Exclusive, how this brave woman is winning her courageous battle against a disfiguring disease. And Julia Ganussi hides a secret under a coat of makeup. Her body of art will blow your mind when Ripley's returns. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Due to a virus contracted when he was a baby, Roberto Ramirez has had to walk on all fours for the better part of his life. That was until now. An experimental surgery has been performed, and Roberto's life is about to change forever. Will he walk upright for the first time, or be sentenced to life in a wheelchair? A heartbreaking birth defect has forced 21-year-old Roberto Ramirez to walk, using both his feet and his hands. Now, after undergoing a painstaking 11-hour surgery, he hopes, with the help of prosthetic legs, to finally stand and walk upright for the first time ever. 9 months of painful rehabilitation have healed the amputation wounds. Now, after gambling everything, if the prosthetics fail, Roberto will spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair. So far, everything's gone as planned. Now, it's up to Roberto. Sharing the moment with family and friends, Roberto's prosthetics are a success, allowing him to stand. But now comes the real test. Back at home, thousands of miles from the therapist that he's come to know, and without anyone's help, Roberto straps on his new legs. With a cane to help him steady, he prepares to take some small steps. Amazingly, Roberto adjusts quickly, even walking the rough terrain of his village streets with pride. Doctors expect it should only be a matter of months before Roberto masters and refines his step.
Tengo esperanza de que puedo trabajar y estudiar y hacer lo que yo quiera.
With his new life ahead of him, Roberto plans to finish school so he can fulfill his dreams of being a teacher, all the while taking plenty of long walks. Roberto's new life was nearly shattered again when he was told that the prosthetic legs have a $20,000 price tag. But the company that made them came to the rescue and gave him the legs for free.
Ripley's world of unbelievable animals.
She picks up the trash, takes out the mail, fetches on command. Still not impressed? Well, how about this? Believe it or not, this water-loving spaniel named Shadow is about to try scuba diving. While Shadow is now the star resident at the Folsom's family home in Boynton Beach, Florida, her prospects were looking pretty bleak before she met Dwayne.
I got her from the local Palm Beach County, Florida dog pound, and she was apparently a runaway that nobody wanted.
Come on. The two became inseparable, and soon Dwayne was even taking Shadow on family vacations. After learning the fundamentals, Shadow could be found tearing up the ski slopes of Aspen. But on one trip to the Bahamas, Dwayne noticed how excited Shadow was getting every time the family went scuba diving.
When we'd go out diving, she would jump off the back of the boat and she'd try to follow us down.
So Dwayne, a retired engineer, began working on a plan to get Shadow below sea level. The result? The world's first patented canine scuba suit, complete with a clear diving bubble that seals watertight over Shadow's entire head, as well as an oxygen regulator and even an intercom so Dwayne and Shadow can communicate. But once underwater, would the suit actually work? Dwayne and Shadow get set to put the suit to the test. 10 seconds into the dive, Shadow appears fine. Remarkably, a minute later, Dwayne is able to use his underwater intercom to actually give Shadow commands. Seeing her alert and responsive after a full 10 minutes, Dwayne's satisfied that his canine scuba suit is a success. Shadow's ready to hit the open ocean. According to her vet, Shadow doesn't suffer any ill effects from her underwater escapades. And Shadow's now logged 392 open ocean dives. So many, in fact, that she's received an honorary passport from the Cayman Islands, where she spends her vacation time making unlikely friends with the local sea life. And these days, Shadow treats all the underwater animals she meets as potential playmates.
She loves diving with the big stingrays. She kind of has it made.
Sit, Shadow.
daredevils will drive themselves up the wall. But how long before they come crashing down? Plus, an unsightly illness left her horribly disfigured. See how she's turning the tables on the disease that transformed her looks. And the primetime event you won't see anywhere else. You're just minutes away from one man's awesome attempt at a mile-high bungee jump. It's coming up in tonight's Ripley's Challenge. Stories you can't imagine, people you won't believe. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
You know that amusement park ride where you stand against the wall in a circular room and then the room begins to spin around, causing the centrifugal force to pin you against the wall? Once you're spinning fast enough, the floor drops out and you're left stuck to the wall like a magnet. Well, we found a couple of guys who do this exact same trick while driving.
Every year, the small town of Dasna, India holds a popular local fair. Rides and sideshows draw crowds from miles around. But the main event, and by far the fair's biggest attraction, is this 4-story well of death. Where, believe it or not, inside, 2 daredevils will attempt to avoid a crash while driving up the walls. It all begins 5 days before the fair opens. Workers assemble a series of wooden slats that make up the Well of Death's sheer 40-foot walls. And if you wonder how they get the car inside, they actually build the wall around it. From the outside, the structure appears solid enough. But inside, with the sun shining through, it's hard to picture this rickety building being a safe place to drive a vehicle. But these daring young men have been training for months to do just that. It's showtime, and the performance begins. The first driver prepares his motorcycle for the event's initial ride. He must quickly accelerate to a speed of 40 miles per hour. Any slower, and gravity will pull this young daredevil tumbling to the ground. Even though one slip-up could mean death, he lets go of the handlebars and rides with no hands. But that's just a warm-up for what's coming up next. Attempting to drive a car in this perpendicular fashion at the same time is almost suicidal. One slip, and the Well of Death will earn its name. The car begins its treacherous climb up the wall, gradually picking up speed. At this height, the driver must constantly maintain his high speed. Any slower, and he risks crashing into the ground. Despite the danger, he stuns the audience by leaning out of his seat, opening the door and waving to the cheering crowd. Careful to keep his foot on the gas pedal. Even a slight loss of speed could mean disaster. After a few very tense moments, both the car and motorcycle come safely to the end of their rides.
You could see the motorcycle and the car together. If one of them don't go according to plan, you can see what could have happened.
Amazingly, while others have been maimed or killed during these dangerous events, our 2 daredevils have completed over 250 rides without injury. Believe it.
Here on Ripley's, we often get the opportunity to celebrate extraordinary people who live unbelievable lives. And with that in mind, we'd like to introduce you to Ms. Porter Colley.
It's been said, real beauty comes from within. And nothing could be more true for this woman. You see, 75-year-old Porter Colley is afflicted from head to toe with a disfiguring disease. And there's nothing this proud woman can do about it. Born in 1926 outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Porter Colley was a beautiful little girl, and she dreamed of becoming an actress. But by her 12th birthday, Porter received the awful news that would put an end to those carefree dreams. a strange bruise on the back of her head appeared and wouldn't go away. Doctors' tests verified the terrible truth. A time bomb was literally growing inside of Porter. A mysterious and rare disease known as neurofibromatosis, or NF for short. And though she already had the condition, doctors told her it would take years to develop. In the meantime, she tried to live a normal life, at one point even becoming engaged. And until her early 20s, Porter still had her movie star looks. But then it started.
The first tumor came on my head up here, and there's still a hole up there.
The disease moved slowly at first. Porter held on to the hope that her case wouldn't be a severe one.
Some people just have the cafe au lait spots and maybe 1 or 2 tumors. It's very varied.
But over the years, tumors caused by NF have spread from her face to her back, even forming under her skin.
There are other tumors inside and out. I had a tumor removed from my neck, and it was as big as a large turkey egg.
While some tumors are surgically removed, there's nothing that can really be done to the thousands of others.
If you have something and you can't fix it, learn to live with it.
For Porter, a hard bump doesn't just cause a bruise. It actually forms a new tumor. And just moving around can cause the tumors to bleed, making everyday functions hard to handle.
It's hard to get clean, and a lot of the tumors are very painful. It hurts to be hugged. A gentle hug is fine, but a slap on the back is excruciating.
Still, since the early 80s, this brave lady has been guest speaking to future doctors at Harvard. Her mission? To help them look beyond the physical and to see the real patient.
I'd like the public to know that we are not contagious when we have NF. I can understand why somebody would get up sitting next to me in the subway and run off. People point and stare, call me names. That doesn't hurt my feelings. I feel sorry for people who do those kinds of things because they have a worse problem than I have.
Instead of hiding, this courageous and popular woman can be found chatting it up on the streets of her hometown of Rockport, taking care of her cat Harry, or hanging out at the local yacht club, of which Porter is a proud member.
It's not easy to live with, but I'm not going to stay in a closet because I don't look like the beauties.
Currently, there is no known cure for NF. But even at 75, Porter is hopeful someday there will be. In the meantime, she says she'll just go on accepting her whole self, tumors and all.
The more tumors I have, the more there is of me to love.
Thankfully, none of Porter's tumors have tested malignant. We'll be right back.
Next, Kevin Thackwell is about to pinch every inch of the flesh on his face. His painful attempt to attach 120 clothespins. Plus, her body is covered with famous faces.
I love Stevie Wonder. I think that's so cool.
But you won't believe what body part she's tattooing now. And the naked newscast creating its own sexy headlines.
It's just nudity, that's all.
Coming up on Ripley's. Kevin Thackwell's face is completely covered in painful welts, and believe it or not, they're all self-inflicted. Each agonizing bump is the result of Kevin's strange obsession with clothespins. And in this unbelievable act, he's attempting to set a new record by painfully clamping 120 of them to the sensitive skin on his face and neck. Kevin, his wife, and 3 kids live in the northern English village of Alsager. It's here that Kevin started his bizarre transformation from mild-mannered painter to Clothespin Man.
It looks disgusting. It's just like God.
For today's attempt, Kevin's purchased some new extra heavy-duty clothespins that threaten to break skin. As he begins to attach them, he has to be careful about where he puts the pins. If they're not in a close line, they won't stay on.
The most difficult part is the actual starting, because you'll put one pin on, that lifts the skin up so you can attach the other one quite nicely, and you just go around doing it over.
The skin covering your face has almost 1 million nerve endings and is the thinnest on your body. If you think these spring-loaded clamps hurt, you're right. Pin by agonizing pin, Kevin presses on, experiencing pressure similar to having dozens of pliers tearing at your skin. With one final clip, he's done it. 120 pins attached to his face. It's a new record, but it's not time for celebrating just yet. The little clamps actually hurt more coming off.
They start slipping off because they start grabbing sort of less skin, and that really does pinch them.
As the blood rushes back to his face, the stinging and burning are truly unimaginable.
It looks like I've been in a road accident. A bit gruesome, but it's all right.
But with all that unclipped skin, the Brit they call Clothespin Man is already planning his next triumph.
I don't think I'll stop putting the clothespins on unless I just literally run out of space on my face, really. I can't see any other reason for making me want to stop.
It's difficult to oversell or overhype what you were about to see. In the world of bungee jumping, everybody talks about someday attempting the mile-high bungee. Well, that someday is right now, and only on Ripley's.
Thrill seeker Dave Barlia is getting ready to jump from a helicopter that's 11,000 feet in the air. He's about to take the highest, most dangerous bungee jump ever attempted.
This is something that hasn't been done, and we've tested it, but you never know until it's actually being done, and nothing's perfect, so anything could happen.
Dave's always considered himself just an ordinary guy who likes to do truly extraordinary things. So when he's not base jumping off cliffs or skiing off a mountain at the Arctic Circle, this newlywed can be found relaxing with his wife, Carlene, and their dog, Zira.
Actually, when I was a little kid, I was pretty conservative. I never would have dreamed I'd be doing stuff like this.
When Dave heard about the prospect of the world's highest bungee jump, over a mile, he couldn't resist.
We'll go ahead and call for the helicopter now.
But just planning for this dangerous jump has taken months. First, it will require a bungee cord long enough and strong enough to do the job. In this case, a custom-made 1,800-foot bungee is necessary to ensure a full 5,280-foot stretch, a full mile. Also, a massive helicopter is required, one powerful enough to support the crew, 1,500 pounds of bungee, and the force of Dave's fall.
If we do have a problem, everything underneath that helicopter is gonna go.
With everything in place on the big day, Dave's crew meets early at the jump site. While they've been pre-testing the equipment for weeks, simulating Dave's weight by attaching a 200-pound barrel to the bungee, Dave and the crew run through it all again. Since it's never been done, no one knows exactly what might go wrong.
If the cord starts to corkscrew on itself, we can't release it. It slides along itself and it can burn a hole. It can burn the cord right in half.
A broken bungee could mean tragedy in more ways than one. First, as it breaks, the cord could act like a giant rubber band, coming back at Dave with enough force to break bones or even knock him out, causing a deadly free fall. This could also spell disaster for the crew.
They could snap up into the blades, putting the people in the helicopter in a lot of trouble.
The biggest immediate concern, though, especially as the desert winds pick up, is Dave himself becoming tangled in the bungee. Since he's dropping at 120 miles an hour, it's a situation that could easily end with his back or neck broken.
Let's just say, unfortunately, he gets wrapped up in the bungee cord. That may take away his ability to cut away and safely fall to the ground with his parachute.
After countless hours of prep time, this is it. The helicopter slowly lifts, and the crew has to be especially careful not to get the 1,800 feet of bungee cord tangled. On the ride up to 11,000 feet, Dave has plenty of time to think about the danger. Finally, they hit altitude and Dave takes his cue. Gathering any last-minute thoughts, he jumps. Dave is on the long bungee ride down. Remember, he's going for a full mile, 5,280 feet. Dave hits 1,000 feet easily. But now the wind is pushing him sideways as he falls, increasing the danger. Careful not to get tangled, Dave hits 2,000. Continuing the fall, he crosses the 3,000 mark. At about 120 miles an hour, he crosses 4,000. Now the bungee begins to tighten.
He's hanging.
Is he awake, alive?
He's got his arms open.
The force of the jolt is concentrated in Dave's back, giving him the feeling of being pulled apart.
Okay.
Still falling, he passes the 5,000-foot mark.
$5,000.
Hitting a mile, he's done it, but he's not out of danger yet.
Okay.
Bouncing back hard, he has only seconds to react. He must pull his parachute cord right now or risk becoming entangled. The crew anxiously watch and wait.
His chutes just came open.
Yeah. Good stuff. Smooth as silk.
Now, safely down on the ground, Dave Barlia has made history.
Perfect. Couldn't have gone smoother.
With his successful one-of-a-kind mile-high bungee jump behind him, Dave Barlia proves he's the best there is.
Obviously, there's a little bit of apprehension right before you jump, but it always seems like that split second that my feet leave and I'm in the air, everything just goes away and I just relax and enjoy the moment.
There are more unbelievable stories right after this. Julia Ganussi's skin blistered whenever she went out into the sun. She did everything she could to find a way to remove the scars, yet she was never, ever happy with the results. That is until she got a tattoo. And then another, and another, and another. Art collector Julia Ganussi has spent the last 9 years and over $80,000 acquiring an incredible body of art.
When people walk up to me and see this artwork, they're just astonished. They can't believe it. They want to see more.
Believe it or not, the art in question is Julia herself, because she's the world's most tattooed woman. And she's about to reveal painful tattoos in a place that you'll need to see to believe.
I'm a very compulsive person. Once I set my mind to something, I just don't give up.
Tattoo-free most of her life, Julia never gave much thought to the world of skin art. But this sun-loving golden girl was about to undergo a startling transformation. At 35, Julia was diagnosed with porphyria, a rare skin disorder that leaves the skin so sensitive, even a simple walk outside burns flesh.
Sunlight causes blistering, and I was scarring my skin badly. I said there must be a remedy.
Self-conscious of the spreading scars, Julia, desperate to find a solution, turned to tattooing as a kind of permanent body makeup.
I started with the leg, just to see how it would work first, to see if my skin would accept the ink. So we started with the leg with an octopus.
The results ignited an obsession for Julia, and the tattooing went way beyond cover-up. Julia was on a mission to become the world's most tattooed woman. The legs were just the beginning. The inking continued, spreading to her stomach, then her arms, and then her back. Now Julia's body art depicts everything from jungle scenes to her favorite actors.
Mostly I have chosen people that I've admired, like Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz.
Other favorites include the Three Stooges, the Munsters, the Jetsons, Winnie the Pooh and Friends, and the Seven Dwarfs. In fact, Julia became so obsessed with inking her skin, she finally did the unthinkable. Julia tattooed her face.
Well, actually, I never had the thought of doing my face in the beginning of tattooing. I didn't plan it out. The ideas came to me, and then the idea of the face came later as the skin condition was worsening with me of the face.
Having covered herself with makeup for the day, Julia is now ready to share her true self.
Appearing on Ripley's is the first time that I have actually revealed myself in two different ways.
9 years and 400 tattoos later, the transformation has taken Julia from this to this. And Julia never gets tired of the attention.
They love it. Most people love it. They really do. When they get close to me and see the beautiful artwork, even, they'll come up to me and say, "Wow, that is gorgeous."
Next, what's so different about working on this newscast? These reporters are required to get naked on the job.
The second audition was completely nude with another female.
And the wooden leg that doubled as a deadly weapon. The strange story behind one amputee assassin's killer limb. Next. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
You could easily pass these women on the street and never realize it, but they are internationally known journalists.
I'm Diane Foster. I'm Hollywood Weston. I'm Carmen Russo.
And while their popular internet cybercast starts like any other traditional news show,
Saddam Hussein's spin doctors are trying to dispel rumors of his alleged stroke.
this broadcast, entitled Naked News, soon takes on an unexpected twist.
Israelis are specifically worried that...
Because, believe it or not, on this newscast, as the story unfolds, so does the anchor's clothing.
As a result of the decision, both nations ended their worst spy confrontation since the Cold War.
Within minutes, these online anchors are standing in the buff,
For the Mexican Congress, delivering a plea for...
delivering the day's headlines without missing a beat.
I'm Carmen Russo, and this is the International Report.
For anchor Carmen Russo, doing the news naked is no big deal.
In North America, they make such a big issue of it. But if you go to Europe, it's just nothing. It's just nudity, that's all.
Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh.
And although for the last 2 years, these newscasts have attracted more than 5 million viewers a month,
Yeah.
A background in journalism isn't a requirement for potential reporters.
Very good tape. The first audition was completely clothed, reading off a teleprompter and speaking. And the second audition was completely nude, with another female. There were no other people in the room.
And it's all just for little old you. The Scottish government has drawn up a...
And while these naked newsreaders know it's their uniquely natural delivery bringing in most fans, they're convinced it's the hard news that keeps them coming back.
The first time they don't really see the news. All they see is she going to, oh my goodness, holy smoke, she is going to. But they come back again and again and again for the news.
Stay tuned for more.
I also claimed responsibility for 15 bombs.
Story or the Pope's help. Cinta made a historic address before the Mexican Congress.
Sometimes to pull off the perfect crime, you need the perfect way to do it. This comes close. This is an artificial leg that once belonged to a San Francisco gentleman named Captain Coal Oil. The captain died in 1889, and when his wooden leg was examined for burial, they found this. A 6-shot revolver attached inside. Yanking this wire pulled the trigger, and the bullet shot out the bottom. Meanwhile, the local sheriff had been looking for a murder weapon in 22 previously unsolved shootings. And guess what? The captain's peg-leg pistol was a perfect match. Unbelievable? Believe it.
This leap day, time flies with a chiller killing time anti-marathon.
Seize the moment.
Watch how the Harper's mystery starts, then get all the answers.
Now finish it.
And witness Buffy's first slay, followed by her last.
Been there and done that.
The Killing Time Anti-Marathon. Tomorrow, starting at 8, only on Chiller. Their stories became Hollywood's most terrifying films. Now, Chiller investigates what really happened.
This is the spot where you saw Mothman.
Hear the amazing truth from the people who were there. Unbelievable secrets, startling new evidence.
There's like a whole tribe of Indians buried here.
Real fear, the truth behind the movies. Premieres Sunday, March 11th at 8, only on Chiller. Scary good.